And now
Can I cry now?
Now it's time. It's time! Here we go, guys. We got some big memes. Here we go! This is big! Okay, boys, here we go. Signet of Inspiration. Normalize the durations of boons applied. All to 3 seconds. Might and Swiftness are exceptions, and they've got 20 seconds and 5 seconds. Guys. Boom. This is actually a buff, by the way, just so everyone knows. This is actually better. This is actually a fairly significant buff. For example, the resistance is longer now, a lot longer. The alacrity is longer. What else is longer? The Aegis is longer as well, so you can like distort. You can share Aegis longer. So this is actually this is a buff boy. Okay, it's a buff boy. Retail and stability though. Stability had it coming. It was OP. I'm not really that sad about it. So this is probably better overall. I guess you can't actually do perma retail anymore. So that's like a slight nerf, I guess, right? But you'll have higher resistance uptime to maybe compensate for that. And you might be noticing something very weird about this Signet. What's going on about this Signet, Nico? Why is it? What's going on here?
You can make it 10-man.
Why is it 10-man?
Yeah, because ArenaNet likes to change the traits around. And it's a nice trait now.
So,
and that's it.
We'll skip down a little bit while we're talking about Signet of Inspiration to Blurred Inscriptions. And, well, the Inspiration trait line in general, okay? So, if we look at the Grandmaster, we'll note that Illusionary Inspiration there is no double Signet now, boys. It's not on Signet. You know how people complained that you couldn't track it? I can't track it, there's no effect, I can't see if it will proc when I use a Phantasm. They're like, we got you covered. We got you covered, boys. We just remove it. We just remove it completely. This trait is, by the way, I much prefer the old trait. This trait is way more boring, just so you know. Like,
this trait is fucking busted when you play Healing Chrono.
Design-wise, this is bad, I think, but functionality-wise, yeah, this is pretty good. Especially if you have Chrono Phantasma, right? Because it will double. Oh god. Yeah. Oh my god. So if you stack healing power and you have if you double down on healing, so I guess this is kind of a purity of purpose for the healing line. If you do something like this, you'll have a lot of healing now. You're going to heal a lot, right? If you spam this, you're going to be able to resummon all these boys. Like you could take the Signet of the Ether as well for even more. You could continuum split Signet of the Ether with the shield guys, with Chrono Phantasma, and with some healing modifiers. You can have like Monk Rune, healing food, healing utility. You can probably get this to heal, I want to say close to 1k every time you do this. So this will heal a shit ton actually. It's going to be very good. For healing, but the boons get kind of wrecked a bit, I guess. So there is that, right? There is that. So Illusion Inspiration, it's kind of design is very, very meh if you ask me. But balance, this is probably heal Mesmer will probably be. Well, I mean, it'll be a thing, right? I mean, heal Mesmer will be pretty fucking strong, right? And you wouldn't take this. But yeah, heal Mesmer will be good. It will be quite strong. If you say took this trait, if there's a configuration that allows you to take this trait, you can heal a lot with this, and you will, as long as you have healing power. So maybe you can see some comps where you run less healing on the other classes, and the Mesmer has more healing as well. Just right off the bat, it actually scales kind of okay with healing power as well. Like it's about doubled because I'm in Givers now, and it's about doubled it up. So if you had proper healing power with say Magi or Minstrel, you will get even more value out of this. I can see this going to like 600, 700, maybe
Chrono's off
like
healer?
800 even. Yeah, Chrono's off healer, dude, or something like that. This will heal a lot with big healing power. Big healing power, boys. Big, large. Okay, so a lot of good stuff there. And then what's next? Blurred Inscriptions, boys. Signets have improved effects. Hang on, we need to.
It's actually only the inspiration one. Others are just garbage.
Okay. And activating one grants you distortion. Signet of the... We'll equip all the signets real quick. Signet of the Ether increases healing. How much more does it heal? Can't even see.
700.
Okay, so let's equip that. So I can... What the fuck? That's terrible.
It's horrible.
That's so bad. That's so bad. Signet of Domination. Let's have a look at that one. Removes
interesting
boons.
in PvP at most. Not
Yeah.
really people.
Whoa! That's pretty good! Removes 5 boons. Single target. You guys can't see this, but remove 5 boons. And a 3-second stun.
What bug gives it this? Huh?
The problem is, though, you'd have to drop something else for it.
Yeah, I mean, I realize that, but it's still pretty. Just the power level of the ability is quite high, right? Just on its own, like the actual power level is quite strong. A 1/4 second 5 boon rip on 1200 range with a 3-second stun. Presumably that the stun will go through stability. In other words, that's actually quite strong. Long cooldown though. Will it see play? I don't know. Like the Mirage build is already really good. Probably not. I guess I don't know. I don't really see it. I guess, but I don't know. Signet of Illusions.
Also boring, 1 clone is garbage.
1 clone on a 60-second cooldown. ArenaNet, are you even trying?
I think the passive is more attractive than the active now. Or
absolute trash.
Previously active is now the passive to the active now.
It's so bad. It's so fucking bad. What? 1 clone. 1 on a 60-second... Yeah, that's trash. Okay, anyway. Alright. Now we get to the big boys, okay? Now we're getting to the big boys. Signet of Inspiration. 10 targets. This is massive, obviously. Now 1 Mesmer will use this busted ability. Honestly, you know how people are crying about this? This probably ends up as a buff. I'm just gonna say it, guys. Like, this is just... I don't know, dude.
Go to the website shit, the benchmarks, and then you can see the logs I posted.
Oh my god.
Then you can see the boon up time on other people with that Signet.
It's just... I don't know, dude. This is probably really disgusting, right? If you have 2 Chronos with this, right? Just bouncing back and forth, going crazy. This is probably really strong. I mean, I guess if you have 1 Chrono, you suck. But if you have 2, then it's amazing.
Why not 3?
3 Chronos. Okay. So if you have 2 Chronos bouncing back and forth, like you're you're really going to want to use Signet in CS like every time now. But this could be, I mean, this is insane. Like, because if you think about it, it kind of changes nothing in a way. Because Signet of Inspiration is 5 targets, right? And Illusionary Inspiration was another 5 target Signet. This adds the Signet to the other subgroup. Like, think about this as saying, cast Signet of Inspiration twice, but on both people, right? The only time where you get cucked is... I don't know, like it's kind of a nothing change almost.
On a boom crop you get cocked.
Yeah. If you get corrupt, then you can't reapply as much. But then the other Chrono can, right? It's very good.
And also you can run one now with Chrono Phantasma, and 1 Chrono is a slave to the other.
Yeah.
Yes. Supplying him with quickness.
Exactly. And then the Chrono can do more DPS. Right? They can be forced. They can just go crazy on damage, and then share a few boons every now and again, as well.
Fractals.
It's absolute horrible there.
Yeah, that's pretty annoying.
I don't think Fractals are dead already. So who cares?
Yeah. It's probably cancerous because you have considerably less 5-man boon sharing Fractals. So
you can buff the clones. Nice.
Yeah, the clones. I guess the pets and stuff, right? Like the pet. Okay.
Wow, the Ranger pet gets more.
The Ranger pet has loads of
Mirage clones get Fury now. That's nice for Fractals. Yeah, no man, it's Fractals.
So Signet of Inspiration is real. It's potentially busted in World vs World. This is probably a buff. Maybe. I think maybe it's a nerf though because you have less reapplication. You can't reapply boons as well. You basically have to wait longer between signets. So potentially this actually makes it worse. But 10 targets is very good in World vs World. I can kind of see people charging into battle with like loads of Chronos and just having so much resistance uptime, right? It's going to be very interesting to see. Like you're going to be running in with like every boon, loads of alacrity, loads of resistance, 10 targets. So if the Chronos kind of stagger, they don't use the signets at the same time, the reapplication is kind of still there. So this probably works out as being amazing. Like this honestly might be so good you run like Mimic or something in World vs World just because of how insanely good this could be on 10 targets, right? It's like you Mimic this shit, you share the boons all over the place, you're going crazy, okay? You're just all over the place. I didn't do that quite right. But look at the fucking 26 seconds of resistance. Why? What the fuck? What? Okay, that's pretty good. Okay, so they may have accidentally buffed double chrono setups. I don't think chrono got nerfed. It very much. This is very much a buff nerf.
Different.
Yeah, this is very much a buff nerf. It's probably going to be the same. It's still god tier. In some situations, it's honestly better. In some situations, it's worse. So, oh wait, what the hell?
When you split, it's worse. Like Sarah.
Yeah. So if you're not always hugging each other, when you're stacked as 10, this is probably better. Yeah. When you're not, it's worse, right? So when you're as 5, it's going to be a bit weaker. Heal chrono exists though, which is something, right? I love that they removed temporal enchant from the game, like such a horrible trait. They removed it from the game.
In the dungeons with super speed.
It was good in dungeons.
Yeah, it was so bad. It was like 2 seconds of super speed. Never. Like
it was enough in dungeons.
Yeah, it was enough in dungeons.
I don't know, dude. They should have just you know what they should have done? Okay, they should have made it share Signet of Inspiration. They should have made Temporal Enchanter share super speed as well. Now that would have been a spicy trait, boys. Okay, that would have been spicy.
It was like this. Temporal Enchanter was super speed.
No, share. They should have made Signet share it.
Signet share super speed.
Yeah.
Why not just stealth and invul?
And stealth. It shares
all
unique modifiers. Yeah, exactly.
It's shared by iteration.
So the one last change to Signet, the Blood Inscriptions, means you also gain distortion on this. So basically, they've kind of put distort back in the game, kinda. So I love this though. They like delete domination from the game, right? It's like fuck you.
Remove it from move it.
Oh, there you go. I think we've kind of said everything about these changes. I kind of like it as well. I kind of like it. It's a cool change. 10 target. I love 10 target. I love overpowered stuff. And this is probably going to end up looking very busted. They also changed some of the wells. They nerfed... I guess this is actually a nerf. This is a nerf to Well of Recall. They reduced the cooldown, but they made it give a 1 second less alacrity.
Different on every build you play.
Confounding suggestions. This is just a change that they didn't know how to fix, I think. So they just removed it. Great news though. Chrono is now really good at doing the eyes in Wing 5. 50% extra days duration. Well, I guess your F3 is now very strong CC if you shadow this with Domi, right? Because it's now 4.5 seconds, I guess. Oh no, because it's with you as well, right? So you get 3 times this and you. So it's a 6 second days. So wow, it's 600 break bar in your F3. If you have paralyzation sigil, it's even more.
That's more CC than a more.
So that's really good actually. So this F3 is very strong if you play domination for CC, I guess. You could do that if you wanted to. You could do that. There you go. So the F3 is just really good. Stun duration is that's still the same, right? It's just 25%, so that changes nothing. Egotism. This is a DPS buff. This trait, I hate traits like this. This is a shit trait. It's so boring. They just couldn't come up with a good idea. In a minute, you couldn't come up with an idea. Okay, so they just gave, oh, yeah, you do 10% damage to foes with a lower health percentage than you now. So I guess like the burst aids build is better now. Like you got an extra 10% modifier when you like, one-shot people from stealth. I'm sure that's going to be fun in World vs. World, isn't it?
5% in what we want.
Oh, okay. It's still, well... That's
still fun.
Oh god, it's terrible.
One shot.
Yeah, but now you don't have the stun on Days Mantra.
So boring. Elusive Mind. You know how people are always complaining about Mirages? Well, Mirage got the slap.
And they still will complain.
Mirage got the slap in PvP. So whenever you break a stun using Elusive Mind, it's now 6 seconds instead of 4 seconds. So you don't get any endurance back for 6 seconds if you use this as a stun break. I honestly feel like that's such a bad trait now. That hurts, right? 6 seconds of no endurance. That's like a DPS loss.
Mirage literally doesn't have a single matchup that it wins now.
Yeah. So this is pretty bad, honestly. Like that's pretty ripped, dude. Okay, this is ouchie. Okay, big ouchie. Heal Scourge buffs. Heal Scourge buffs.
No, really?
Yes. Oh yes, Nico. Oh yes. They fixed it basically.
You're very generous then.
Yeah.
So they nerfed it.
Okay, let's talk about this, guys. Okay. So, number 1 change here. Sand Cascade fixed a bug that prevented this skill from respecting party and squad prioritization. So, and this is the same with the F2 as well. So, in other words, Okay?
Your minions won't cuck everyone.
Yeah, the minions, pets, and clones won't cuck you now. When you put this, it will guarantee 10-man barrier your group, guarantee 10-man Condi convert your group. Okay? This is a big change, right? This is a pretty big change. So, like, they did some core necro buffs. This will probably be a PvP change. You won't see this anywhere else except PvP. So Dark Path, right? So Life Blast, first attack, they reduce the aftercast, does way more damage. Dark Path, second attack, okay. Oh wait, no, this is a nerf. Why did they do that? Okay, never mind. They made it worse. Fuck. Okay, I thought it was like 5 stacks, but no, it's 2 stacks. Life Transfer though, Life Transfer is way more damage, 70% more damage. So if you like play power base Necro, it's OP, guys. Holy shit. Insane, amazing. So that's what they're trying to push here. But I thought it was supposed to be Condi, but then again, maybe not. Maybe, I mean, it's still going to like carrying or something. The torn duration per pulse has been increased from 10 seconds to 12 seconds. The immobilized duration has been increased from 1.5 to 2 seconds. The final impact damage increased by 25%. And now, in fact, torment in addition to immobilize. So what have we got going on here? So this just does considerably more damage now, and it immobilizes for longer and reveals longer. Are you going to see base Necro over Scourge? Fuck no. But still, it's nice to see that they're trying to address this. Spinal Shivers, the base damage and bonus damage of the skill have been increased by 50%. That is slightly scary. So, Spinal Shivers, 3 boons removed, 2.5k. I mean, obviously, you may see you're going to see this in PvP, right? So you will ruin people with this if you can actually land it, right? If you crit, which is pretty interesting, I guess.
Hey, more fucking names.
Yeah. I don't know. Like, will it be better than Warhorn? Like, it's so clunky. I guess if you can connect this is really good. And to compensate, they reduced the... you know what's good, Nico? They finally deleted this trait, okay? Spinal Shivers, Chill of Death. In PvP and War vs. World, they nerfed it by 30%. This trait was really, really disgusting, so it's a good thing that they nerfed it. This trait was really, really nasty. It would just like randomly one-shot you below 50% health and remove all your boons and then kill you. So yeah, that was a really dumb trait. It's gone now. Feels good. It's still really good, don't get me wrong. It's just not nowhere near as disgusting.
Yeah, as Balloon said, now you're trying to make it almost one-shot.
Exactly, yeah. So, I mean, it's something, right? And then Devouring Darkness. They said they fixed this last time, but I guess they didn't. But now they did for real. There you go. Oh. Yeah, because this was in the patch notes last time. Well, in a patch note, but now they fixed it for realsies this time in Devouring. So basically, it had no LOS. The LOS was busted, okay? But now it's fixed. Like feels good, man. And let's see, Quickening Thirst. So in Blood, what happened? This trait, I mean, it's still bad. This trait now makes you go faster while you're above your health threshold and while reducing dagger skills instead of having daggers equipped. This is okay, right? Now hear me out, guys. I'm not joking when I say this. This is actually an open world trait. This is the trait that they want Necros to run in open world. If you take this with Signet of the Locust, you're at 33% the entire time. This trait is awful. Like both the traits outside of it are just way better. It's a disappointing trait. Honestly, Quickening Thirst actually needs Devouring Darkness treatment, right? This needs to like change every ability in Dagger to make it good. Because you know what will be really interesting? Okay, if Quickening Thirst made Dagger into a healing weapon, they renamed it and made it into a healing weapon. Okay, an actual healing weapon. So when you lifesteal, something like this, while you're equipping a dagger, share lifesteal life you steal is shared with allies. Something like that could be interesting. Like rename it to Thirsting Thirst, Spreading Thirst. Okay, or something like that. Okay, because this trait is trash. All right, there you go. That's basically it for Necro. Maybe you will see some very niche play on like power base Necro in PvP, but other than that, it's going to be bad. But it's not as good as Reaper or Scourge, so good luck with that. And again, they've purity of purpose memed themselves here. So the base Necro is supposed to be Condi, but it's just not. It's just not. But I mean, yeah, in World vs. World, like you don't typically play like. Well, I mean, I guess you play Focus, like you can just randomly like hit people with Spinal Shivers. Like you'll randomly kill people with Spinal Shivers in World vs. World. So yeah, you'll see probably more Focus play in World vs. World. That's a good point, actually. I did. Yeah, you'll see a lot more because you can't dodge the Spinal Shivers in World vs. World. So, oh my god. So basically, like if you play your Power Scourge, or even Celestial. Oh my goodness, boys. You'll randomly kill people with this. This is spicy, actually. Maybe Focus is good in that case. Huh. Yeah, that's worth investigating, I think, for Necro. But yeah, they fixed Devouring Darkness, and that's it. Heal Necro is now buffed, guys. Heal Necro is 100% buffed because you'll consistently barrier and cleanse 10 targets with your abilities, and that's insane. I don't know why they haven't reworked some of these punishments. They still suck. Feels bad. Heal Necro still needs quickening thirst. Needs to be spreading thirst, boys. Okay, that's what it needs to be. Druid. Let's see.
Killing.
Call of the Wild. So tooting the horn has a higher radius now, Matter. Okay.
Okay.
Toot the horn. That's all I gotta say. So Call of the Wild has 9. This radius is huge, and that applies to Clarion Bond as well. So basically, you can get those dank boons ages away. Okay. Big radius. Ambidexterity. The condition damage gained from this trait is now split between game modes. It grants a base 80 condition damage, 120 in PvP and War of the Sword, and an additional 80 when the ranger wields a torch or a dagger. I believe this is actually a buff. If I recall correctly, it was 120. No, it was 100. Was it 180 before? Is this a nerf, actually? It was 150. Okay, alright, so we've got 10 extra condition damage. Oh, yeah! Alright, so Soul Beast gets 10 extra condition damage. I guess. There you go.
Okay.
Good news. Great news. Let's see. Clarion Bond. Yep, they changed that in line with Call of the Wild change. Honed Axes. The Frosty gain from this trait is now split. It grants a base of 120 Frosty and an additional 120 when rangers are wielding an axe. It's actually a nerf. It gave 3... Oh, I guess it's kind of like a buff nerf, actually. But it used to give you 300 while you have an axe, and now it's only 240. But you get 120 by default, I guess. But, so, like, it's a slight nerf there. Yeah. There you go. Oh, and 80 while on short bow. Oh yeah, because you've always got 80 on the short bow, so you actually have bonus condition damage all the time as well. Good point, Lufty. Good point, Lufty. There you go.
These got server in the US, by the way.
Yeah. Wait, what? But anyway, Lead the Wind. You don't get attack speed on Lead the Wind anymore. Feels bad, man. Well, that's just sad. When you strike a foe with a projectile combat, gain swiftness, then you're fast as fuck. All the time as well, but I mean, I guess this is kind of interesting. This is kind of like a flavor change. It doesn't really do anything. Honed Axe is slightly nerfed, I guess. Strider's Defense. It's in skirmishing. Evading attacks grant quickness. Sword skills gain reduced recharge. This is pretty monk-esque, so now you can get easy quickness uptime just by dodging on range. You don't even need sword anymore. So there you go. It's a big meme. It's a big meme-aroni, though. Okay? So there you go. So 200 training is the next thing that got changed. 50%. You don't get Fury anymore. Feels bad, man. You gain Fury when you disable them. So when you get them with the stun or something. So this is just way less, pretty much. You get way less Fury. This is an ouchie nerf, I guess. If you don't have another source of Fury. So feels bad, man. Poor order. Poor old GS Rangers. But of course in PvE that's not going to be a problem because you're always going to have Fury anyway. And there you go. This is a weird change. Windborne Notes. Warhorn skill. So they now make the radius is bigger, right? Obviously, to keep up with the Warhorn radius increase. And you recover health and you gain regeneration. So in other words, if you're playing Druid and you have this trait, whenever you apply regen to yourself with your Water Spirit or you toot the horn, or a Mesmer shares you regen, you gain health. So this will actually increase your CA generation even more and give you even more sustain on Druid. I guess.
Well, this is good.
I guess this is a flavor meme. This is a flavorsome meme. Okay? Yeah. Makes it easier to set up the opening strike combo though. Yeah, I guess you can guarantee the combo instead of having a chance to like get Fury right from the beginning. Because it was a 50% proc, man. You're gonna get that anyway. So I'd probably say it's still nerf, right? So Ranger, they buffed both of the PvE builds. So they buffed Druid a tiny bit with a range increase and more sustain. They buffed Power Soul Beast, and they buffed Condi Soul Beast. Because